For months now, conservatives have mocked Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for her belligerent ideas. But now that she's been sworn into office, the time for laughing is over. Unfortunately for the United States, the socialist congresswoman from New York finally took office this week. And if her first week is a sign of what's to come, we are in for one terrifying ride. To kick off the new year, Ocasio-Cortez fiercely pushed forth her Green New Deal agenda, which Fox News describes as the most radical plan offered in decades.
You're talking about zero carbon emissions, no use of fossil fuels within 12 years?
That is the goal. It's ambitious.
In Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal, she calls for the elimination of all fossil fuel-powered electricity, which would spell the end of every coal and gas plant in the country. Funny how the woman for the working class wants to put hundreds of thousands of hardworking Americans on the unemployment line. But maybe that's Comrade Cortez's plan all along. After all, when does socialism not end with breadlines? Her outrageous energy plan would cost nearly $6 trillion to fund, which would eliminate 1/4 of our nation's GDP from the economy.
I mean, it was definitely well over $3 million.
And it's a tad ironic that her plan is all in the name of saving the earth, when the production of solar panels emits greenhouse gases like sulfur hexafluoride, which is nearly 24,000 times more potent than CO2. Wind turbines aren't much more environmentally friendly either, as they kill 1 million bats each year, as well as 500,000 birds. For comparison, BP was fined $100 million for their 2009 oil spill that killed 800,000 birds. Ocasio-Cortez's idea of green energy is to run our nation's entire power grid on energy sources that kill more wildlife than the BP oil spill and emit gases 24,000 times more toxic than carbon dioxide.
Yeah, exactly.
I am happy that unlike her other colleagues in DC, Ocasio-Cortez is honest enough to call herself a socialist. But I wish she could be honest enough to admit that her Green New Deal has nothing to do with green energy, and is instead a government power grab and redistribution of wealth. But the bad ideas she recommended this week don't just end there. On Tuesday, Ocasio-Cortez kicked off the new year by going full-blown Lenin and calling for a federal jobs guarantee, a federal bailout of America's $1.5 trillion in student loan debt, and canceling Puerto Rico's $74 billion debt. Imagine that. A communist wanting to punish successful people for the poor decisions of others. Why is it my responsibility as a taxpayer to bail out some whiny college students with gender studies degrees because they can't find a job after college with their useless degree? I'm willing to bet that she was against the 2008 auto bailout, but of course in order to get more votes from the brain-dead potheads, she has to bail them out to keep the support coming.
All I do is smoke weed.
I can't believe my son is such a loser.
Then today, Ocasio-Cortez called for a 70% tax on the rich in order to fund her Green New Deal. Imagine stealing 70% of someone's wealth because you think they've made too much, and you're too lazy to fund your project yourself. How ironic that a woman making 5 times more than the average American, and on the taxpayer dime should I add, had the nerve to tell others that they've made too much money. I would tell Alexandria to go back to waiting tables in New York, because there is much more honor in working minimum wage than stealing from American citizens. But unfortunately for her, she can't, since the restaurant she worked at was put out of business by a minimum wage hike that she supported. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's lunacy is quite entertaining, but now that the commie is actually in office, it's fairly terrifying. Her radical Green New Deal already has backing from 40 House Democrats, and the endorsements of Senators Bernie Sanders and Cory Booker. With the Democrats controlling the House, there is a real possibility that her crazy ideas may no longer just be tweets and could actually become the law. I can only hope that Americans will become as vocal in opposition to communism as they are fascism. After all, both are socialist ideologies and end in the same result. How a party that calls our president a fascist can be tolerant of a radical lunatic like Ocasio-Cortez is beyond me. These are troubling times, and we need to come together to defeat socialism before it defeats us.
After the success of Alpha Power, we decided to make a new powerhouse vitality formula built with the female biochemistry in mind. After searching for the incredible ingredients to meet those needs, we're proud to bring you Ultimate Female Force. All Info Warriors know how important keeping up with their vitality truly is. With all the changes to diets, stress, and other outside forces, keeping your metabolism and well-being up is getting more difficult. That's why Ultimate Female Force is such a powerhouse formula. Together with Super Female Vitality or by itself, Ultimate Female Force is just what you need to help boost your metabolism and support your physical and mental energy levels. With the powerful root-based formula, Ultimate Female Force can help you reach your true peak potential. Don't wait to see what you can really do. Show the world what true female power looks like with Ultimate Female Force at InfoWarsStore.com.